Freezing Grand Junction today. So I'm back at Palisade River Park. I haven't been here for a while. At least been here with the dogs, but I have not been here to video anything. And I'm kind of injured. I have both a problem with my left foot and my left hand right now. I tripped. So I probably won't walk too much. My ankle's all swollen, and I've got flip-flops on today because I wasn't planning on doing this, but you can hear the train coming. That's cool. So there'll be a train going through Palisade here shortly. It'll be right behind me. It'll probably be quite loud, so let me see how far I can get on this. Could go over by the river. I'm going to start here, then I'll move over by the river. So even though I won't be walking, I'm going to be talking. So that's half of walkabout, talk about. Probably won't be talking too much on the camera. I do think I've figured out my audio-video discrepancy, where what I say is behind what the video is showing, and I'm having to extract audio. So, I got a new mic. I ended up splurging for a new, really nice external mic on my GoPro. So, what I wanted to talk about today is women and solo RV travel. And not so much doing it and being in a group, but when you actually do go out and you're solo completely, I belong to Sisters on the Fly, Girl Camper, vintage trailer groups, hunting groups, my traditional archery group. So even though we go camping, we're not alone. We usually have somebody around with us. But there are 4 or 5 times every year that I do just decide to either solo travel to an event. Sorry, I have hat hair today. To solo travel to an event by myself, which I absolutely love to do. Or I just take off and I do a solo trip, and I end up going somewhere. Now, I took some notes, and they're on my phone, but I can start it by saying, as women, should we travel alone, solo? And absolutely. I'll tell you what, there's no better way to learn about yourself, about what you're capable of, your strengths and your weaknesses. Probably pretty windy, so move the camera a little closer. So there's power in that. There's power in knowing that you can do it. And I'm going to say for any woman, whether you're fresh out of a relationship, whether you've been single a long time, knowing that you can do something on your own is extremely powerful. And I can't think of anything else that is more beneficial to your psyche, to your well-being, and feeling like you can do it. You've got it. And I'm going to go way, way, way back when I first started jeeping and pulling a tent trailer behind my Jeep, and in a Jeep club in California. So back up a little further, being an adult and being in relationships and letting the guy do it, letting the guy be the one towing the trailer, towing or backing up the trailer, or driving the rig in general. I know a lot of women to this day, if their husband is in the vehicle, even if it's their vehicle, their husband does the driving. I've never been that way, ever. In fact, if it's my vehicle, nobody touches it. Now, I'm not kidding. That's how I feel. I will let people drive it if I'm in the vehicle and maybe I'm not feeling well, or we're trying to get somewhere and I'm kind of tired. Anyway, so yes, we should travel alone. We should make a point of traveling alone. I'll say it that way. You should never just only go on caravans with your friends or meet up, you know, somewhere always. You should throw some solo trips in there, some overnight stays. Now, I'm not saying you have to go do your whole 3-week vacation all by yourself. Actually, to begin with, probably one night here or there would be good. I like to go in the wintertime to other states besides Colorado and camp by myself, or with my group, but getting there is the process, and I'm by myself. I don't ever caravan. I don't offer a caravan. And I'm sorry, I'm in some huge groups. Sisters on the Fly is the main one. A lot of us go to Quartzsite in the winter, especially in January, and there's big events down there that both Sisters on the Fly, Girl Camper, RV Women, a lot of groups, not just women's group, and then a couple groups my husband and I are in, but they go down there. I love the process of getting down there, and I always take at least 2 nights by myself. Now, you do want to be safe, and I have a couple things I always do when I'm traveling to a destination. This is not being boondocking down in Quartzsite. This is getting there. So, obviously, number one, you want to be safe. Have some sort of protection. I won't go into what that needs to be. I am pro-gun, and I carry, so, but I also have other alternatives, aerosol things, some easy ones, bear spray, wasp spray, pepper spray, hairspray, but a baseball bat. There's some things you can carry. You're talking about things that you're kind of going to be up close personal with if you have problems with somebody. But the number one thing is to have some way to protect yourself. The number 2 thing is be aware of your surroundings. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. As women, our intuition, I think, is on another level than men. And also when you're alone, the hair on the back of your neck might rise up a little faster than if you were in a group situation. If something feels off, go with your gut. If it doesn't feel right, just keep going. Don't stop. Don't pull into that rest area. If you pull in because you have to use the potty and there's no one there but some transients loitering around and you don't feel right, get back in your vehicle. You're better off going down the road, squatting on the side of the highway, and have some privacy somewhere, pull off on a dirt road than you are. Those are the kind of situations that women should never put themselves into, ever. So be aware, carry protection. And my one rule that I do when I'm traveling to something, and it could be even if I've spent 2 nights somewhere trying to get somewhere, I do not unhook. Now, Little Ruby's a vintage trailer. I don't have full hookups. I don't need full hookups. I've got solar. I always have water in the tank, at least enough to get somewhere when I'm boondocking, and then I'll fill it up in the winter because I winterize her water tank and her water pump and faucet. I will take jugs. But as long as you can self-sufficiently hang out in your RV if you had to, and you can get a message out to someone, so you want communications, and you want to be able to be self-sufficient in your RV. Now, there's a big argument about ladies that always want to drive vans or mini motorhomes, cars, so that they can jump in the driver's seat. And that's all fine and good. Somebody can still break your window and, get you. I feel like if I can protect myself with whatever I bring, I do always travel with the dog, and she would protect me. I have an escape route. When I pull into even a rest area, I don't let anybody block me in. I'm going to be able to get out of there quick. And I'm not just saying for people reasons. I may have to get out of there because the place blows up and catches on fire. I want to be able to get out and not have to worry about people hemming me in. So I always park, and I heard this years ago. It was one of the top 5 tips of women traveling alone. Have your escape route planned when you stop for the night or for 2 hours at a rest area or to eat your lunch on the side of the road. Just give yourself a spot where you can leave quickly. So there's, always a way I can get out of wherever parking situation I'm in. And let's see. And then, obviously, if you're at a rest area, this is a good example because this happened to me. And I travel with a vintage trailer. People love to see the vintage trailer. And I get asked all the time, can we see inside? I said, no, it's a mess right now. I'm traveling. You can't even get into it. And I'm sorry, but that's my personal space. And I move on. Because I don't know these people. I don't owe them anything. Thank you for the compliment. Follow me on YouTube. You can see all you want. And that's actually the first thing I will tell people if I get talking to them and feel like, especially women, that they're not a threat or something. I have not mentioned YouTube a couple times or different things, Facebook, Instagram, because I don't want people following me. If they're going to find me, they'll find me, but but if I get a feeling at a gas station, even I pull in, I'm getting gas, somebody wants to see inside Ruby or ask me, what year, or what'd you pay for? That's personal. What I paid for, it's not really their business. I'll tell them the year, and I'll say you can peek through the windows, but right now I'm not opening her. And I purposely travel with stuff in her for that reason. It's easier for me to get where I'm going and throw that stuff in the back seat of the truck, which I could have done all along, but it keeps people out of my vehicle. And so it keeps it private to me, and it keeps people out of her. You don't want some strange dude you don't know in your RV. I'm sorry, but no, that will never happen. So, common sense, when you're at a campground, and if I'm camping, even by myself, and I'm unhooked, and people are walking, oh my gosh, that's the cute vintage. I will let them get into the trailer or peek in. You can stand at Ruby's door and look at the whole 10 feet box, It's only 10 by 6, so. But I don't go in. I will never go in following them or in front of them. I'll say, oh yeah, here, peek inside. And I kind of word it that way so they're not just hanging out inside. And people I know, obviously, come inside, we visit at the table and eat or whatever you want to do. But I really don't do much socializing in Ruby unless the weather's bad. So, it's just common sense. Just kind of use your head, use your gut instincts, and be able to protect yourself. I encourage traveling with a dog, even a yappy little dog. Doesn't have to be a huge menacing dog. I have a blue heeler. She's 30 pounds. She's not big, but she's a bundle of energy, and people are like, whoa. And she barks. So when I need her to, and she does not get in trouble for barking if somebody approaches us. She never will. I will make her calm down and sit if I'm walking her and that happens. But if I'm camping and that happens, then no, they're in our space. So, and boundaries. Boundaries are huge. It goes along with letting people in your RV or to see what your car setup looks like for car camping or your tent or whatever. You got to set boundaries. If you don't know somebody, you don't owe them anything, really. You're probably never going to see them again. I am the ambassador for Colorado, so I do carry business cards. And if I get a good feeling about someone, then I will give them one of my cards, because it does have my phone number, my email, my address, They can get a hold of me and get more information on Sisters on the Fly. And also, a lot of times I just start having a texting buddy, a new one that I've met somewhere, and they just want to learn a little bit more about Sisters. Maybe they'll join, maybe they won't. So yeah, but I've traveled a lot. And I want to say in the beginning, traveling by myself, never been a scaredy cat, because one, I've always been around guns, so I know I can protect myself. But the first few times there was anxiety in certain situations. I actually would rather go to a vacant field than a rest stop with a whole bunch of people. So I was more comfortable with not around people. I've gotten over that. I can stop in a Cracker Barrel, but in the beginning I would have never done that. I would never have gone to a Walmart, Cracker Barrel, any of that. I pull over off a dirt road and find a spot, hunker down. Now there are some times, and I've done this really more for weather, but I drive a truck and I have a back seat that I can fit in. Me and the dog can sleep in it. So I will pull into areas, especially if I'm going to get an early start, or if it just, maybe somewhere I've never been, but I will sleep in the back seat. And it does go back to, okay, I can jump over the front seat and get in behind the wheel. And yes, it's probably part for that reason. Maybe subconsciously I'm picking up on something that tells me I should do that. I rarely do it, but in the course of a year I might do it once or maybe twice. And that's of all the trips I go on. And that's going from my house to a trip, or from the trip, the event, back home. I like to have 2 days of travel. And with that, something I always do, I tow. So I'm driving 65 miles an hour with an F-150 and a little vintage trailer. I could go faster, but in 1961, when the Ruby was built, cars didn't go much faster as far as traveling. And truthfully, they're not made to go 80 miles an hour down the highway, especially the older ones. So my limit is 65. I set the cruise control for 65. Keep my foot out of it, because believe me, my truck goes a lot faster, and normally I do. But not when I'm towing. I will tow 3 hours or quit by 3 o'clock. That's kind of my rule. In 3 hours, if I'm going through traffic, because I live in a very rural area, so I'm not used to traffic. So after 3 hours, I'm like, okay, that's it. So if I'm really trying to get somewhere, I might start at like 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe even 8, but I'll stop at like noon. Now, it doesn't mean I'm done for the day if I'm doing these 3-hour chunks, but I take a big break. Then I do another 3 if I'm going to. Or if I just wait and walk the dog in the morning, take my time getting on the road, then it's like 10 or 11. Then I do my 3 hours, and it's like, you know what, I'm done. This is where we're staying for the night. So I frequently go from Colorado to western Idaho, Colorado to eastern Idaho, Colorado to Quartzsite and different areas around Arizona, Colorado to Utah, Zion, Bryce, Vegas, Moab. Moab's 2 hours from me. From my house to downtown Moab, 2 hours. So from Grand Junction, it's not even an hour and a half. So, yeah, I don't really count that one. But other areas, we go back east. I don't do a lot of stuff back east. I need to start doing more. Boy, it's getting windy. So I'm probably going to wrap this up. But let's see, there was there was 5 things I wanted to say, and I think I mentioned 4. I think of the other one. But just get there before dark. And that can actually be the 5th one. No matter what you're doing, where you're going, and if you're especially going to set up camp, even for a night, get there before dark. Don't keep pushing it. And when you're the only person, and I did want to say this, when you're the only person in a vehicle, you know, you get drowsy. So if you're feeling like you're drowsy, pull over. Shut it down. Either take a nap, go for a walk, or just make a break, a big break. Take a minute, maybe eat some lunch if you haven't eaten. Drink some coffee or a soda, get some caffeine in you. But don't drive drowsy. It's easy to do. I listen to books on tape. I love them. The trip seems to go fast. And I get kind of in a groove and I'm just going along. It's an annoyance when somebody calls me and the book stops. That's how much I get into it. But I also find that they make me sleepy because I'm listening to a book. I'm not really thinking. I'm just listening. I'm not actively doing anything with my brain. So kind of one of my newer rules is when I start on a trip, I listen to the book. And no more than 2 hours. Then I shut the book off. Then I'll listen to some music, sing along, because I'm a little more, active that way, brain-wise, singing along. And I love classic rock. So remembering the lyrics to songs and stuff. And I do that. But I always stop too and walk. I love to walk. And I'm traveling with a dog. She needs to walk, potty and stuff. So I use that time for that. Then maybe we'll eat something, drink something. But then when I get back in, I'll turn the book back on for up to 2 more hours. Now, I don't listen to books on tape in traffic. I go through Salt Lake City a whole lot, going to Idaho. Hate going through Salt Lake City. I shut the books. You're not paying attention if you're kind of listening. And I find myself watching traffic and then I've missed 10 minutes of a book. So if I'm in traffic on I-15 going through Salt Lake, books are off, music can be on. I'm not singing along to the songs, I'm just hearing it in the background. But that's more of a safety thing for me, and it just sort of, I gotta be alert, gotta be watching. And when you're towing something, you gotta be a little more watchful of people around you. They tend to cut you off, or you don't stop as quick. And a beautiful day, but it is getting windy and it's almost 2 o'clock. I have to go pick up a prescription at a pharmacy over here behind me, so I'm going to go do that. I said it'd be ready at 2. But I went ahead and decided, let's walk a bit. I'll walk along the river a second. Still don't have my truck back. I did a video about my truck going back to the mechanic shop because I found some mechanical issues with it after the tree fell on the front end, and there's some issues with my hub and brakes on the driver's side. So anyways, there's the mighty Colorado River. It's really down low. This is towards the end of summer and it's been a drought, so we're lucky to have that kind of water in it. Anyways, so, don't be scared to get out there and do things. Life is all about taking risks, and as women, we need to do more. We need to take the risks and be the strong one, and know that we can do it. It's so empowering. That was number 5. I would suggest all women that travel solo either just getting to events or doing it because they love it. Take an RV maintenance course, one for women. I've gone through 52U, so 52U, like university. You can look it up, Google it. I've gone through classes with 2 phenomenal ladies that are both RV technicians, and thought about doing that course, become an RV tech, but I don't really want to work. So, but 10 years ago I would have done that in this heartbeat. But take an RV course. The more you know your vehicle and you're comfortable with it, also the more enjoyment you're going to get by being a solo traveler. And if stuff happens, not necessarily breakdowns mechanically. For that, you better have AAA or Good Sam or something. I think everybody should have that, whether you RV or not. But more just so you could fix things. I've fixed so many things in Little Ruby and other RVs we've had because I understand the heat systems. I fixed the little flag switch in our furnace in our huge Jayco that we had that was brand new, and it went bad after the first year, and we were out camping and it was snowing, and I knew about flag switches, so I fixed that and our furnace worked. So things like that, and that's empowering. Here's my little rental truck. Didn't get the truck back today. Hopefully maybe tomorrow. Oh no, Monday, because today is Friday. I won't get it back tomorrow. So anyways, bye for now. Go camping.